So have you ever watched someone play piano and like asked how in the world can they sit there and play all of that just from memory? So some of you also may want to learn how to play piano. I've been doing extensive research on the difference or the correlation between memory and playing piano. There is a very high correlation between memory and playing the piano. I will tell you about how the best way is to play the different ages. So if you wanted to have a kid and you wanted to start them out playing piano, the different ages to which would be the best for them to learn correctly, and how even though your mind can be destroyed, you can still play like in your later years. So the first thing I'll talk about is the best way to play. So the best way to play is through memorization. There's been countless studies done. Graham Finch, which is a man, he has a blog, and he also is a very, very good piano player, says that he plays the best through memorization, and this is talked about in an interview with Graham Finch on memorizingmusic.com. Davidson, which is a man who conducts studies, did a study with 20 people, and he also learned about that memorization was better than trying to play from reading sheet music up in front of you, and they just learned better and played better than trying to just play the sheet music in front of them. And this is from Total Inner Mind on the database from Tusculum Library. And so, with playing through your memory, there is some things that can go wrong. What if you forget? There is things called retrieval cues that is talked about in Practicing Perfection in the ebooks in the database. So retrieval cues are things that, like, so you're playing, you forget. These help you come back to where you can play and still kind of not make yourself look like a fool. So Graham Finch, again, he talked about that you should know the piece well enough that to play, and so he has some techniques that people can play to do to learn the piece so you don't slip up and make a fool of yourself in front of a huge crowd. And some of those were like playing with single finger, playing select parts, so you play just one part and you switch to a different part. So you play the left hand, the right hand. So take the rolls of your left hand and play them with the right hand to know better the piece. Play in different keys, so some are played in the key of G or the key of C. You play it in different sort of like keys in that sequence, and so you'll know it better. And then starting and stopping at different places, that helps. Just so if you play the beginning and then you pick it up back at the end, you know the piece well enough to where you won't make a fool of yourself. So then before you can play the recital or your concert, you first have to know how to play. So there is a certain age that most people, or this study shows, the study was conducted by R.W. Brown to see what the best age was to start your kid out with playing. His study was from the ages from 4 to 9, and he noticed that the younger children from ages 4 and 5, they couldn't seem to concentrate. So they would try and play, but they just, because a 4-year-old, he has an attention span of this big, he's going to concentrate for 15 minutes and then he's off doing whatever he wants to be doing. But around age 7, they started to understand better. They started to see progress, and so once they started seeing progress, they were much more into playing, much more interested, and so they did much better. And you would think if you have different ages and you start kids out, so the older they are, you would think the best results would happen. But this is from his book, from his database, and so this shows that the 8-year-olds produced the best out of all of the age groups from the 4 to 9. And this was from the relation between age and rate of piano learning on the database on the Garland Library. So since children learn well at an early age, there is also the fact on the other side of the spectrum of like what happens when your mind starts to deteriorate. So this man is Clive Waring. He had herpes, syphilitis, so he has syphilis. It ate his brain, okay? So it ate the medial temporal lobe in his brain, and so that affected to where he can't remember anything past 10 seconds. But he could still play piano. He could still sit down and read a piece of sheet music or like something he played previously. He could still play it perfectly, but he had no knowledge of it. He would just sit down and play. And then after he got done, no clue that he just played. It's completely gone. There are other people that have like the frontal part of their brain like removed, and so they can still play also without the memory of having it, but they can't play the newer stuff as well. Stuff they had played previously, they still can remember playing perfectly, but the newer stuff isn't as clear. And this information was found on BBC.com. It was an interview about Clive and how that just kind of works. So the brain has, as you can tell, has a large connection between memory and playing. So I talked about the different ways to learn. I talked about the age, which is 7, that usually you can start your child out and they will play better than if you try to start them out early. They may get burnt out on it, they may not enjoy it. And then I talked about how the mind is still very powerful and how you can still play even if your mind goes, you can still play at a later age. So the playing piano has affected many people's lives. Why not let it affect yours?